Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here. Good morning, guys, and I hope we have a good day today. I'd like to start off with my overviews first. I think US stock futures are looking higher, as you can see on the screen. S&P 500 is up almost 15%. Nasdaq futures is up almost 98%, and also we have no, not 98, 97 points. S&P 500 is up 14.5 points, and the DXY is also up 0.279, and yields are falling. Looks really like a good setup for the stock prices to go up. I think that could be another possible round of record highs after both indices set all-time highs at close on Monday. Now, Dow futures are up modestly. They are not that high. I think they're just up around 0.01%. You can't see it on the screen here, but it's on the other window. And so I think global markets are looking mixed. European indices, that is CAC 40, DAX, FTSE, are in the green, while Asia saw declines in the Nikkei, which was down 0.08% when I recorded this, and a mixed session in Hong Kong and Shanghai as investors reacted to US-China trade talks and recent tariff developments. In terms of major headlines, what I find interesting is that hundreds of US companies, including Boeing, PayPal, and Spotify, report today, with magnificent several tech giants like Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, just started to report later this week. Like Wednesday, we will start getting those reports. Now, this is what is dominating the headline. These are the things that are dominating the headlines and drawing some intense focus. PayPal raised its full year profit forecast above Wall Street estimates. They just had their earnings before I started writing down the script for today's show. And they also included a whole lot of cryptos for conversion to stable coins. But pre-market, PayPal stock was down, I think 1.2% or something like that. I mean, more than 1%. It was down. And also investor attention seems to be split between Q2 earnings and the start of Federal Reserve's two-day policy meetings. While rates are almost certain to remain unchanged, the market will parse Powell's guidance for hints on the future, because right now I think the September rate cut is priced into the market. We'll have to see what happens. I think that's where the attention is split along with the Q2 earnings. Q2 earnings could also turn out to be buy the rumor, sell the news kind of events, especially given Microsoft has run up so much. And we'll see what happens when we get the earnings later tomorrow. And optimism remains high after the new US-EU trade deal cut tariffs to 15%. Now, I think that the press is using the word trade deal very loosely. These are all frameworks, in my opinion, based on what I understand. These are all frameworks. No deal has been signed. It's a framework that has been accepted so that they can go ahead and sign up a deal based on that. So there is many a slip between the cup and the lip, as they say. It's an old proverb. So anything could happen. And also talks between US and China have resumed in Stockholm on Monday. Hopes are raising that an extension of current truce will be secured ahead of President Trump's August 1st world tariff deadline. If that hope is not fulfilled, then you could expect the markets to react. But if that extension comes through, I think the market will be as it is in the same track. There will be no impact from that. And also, there are some tech sector bubble warnings which I read in the press. And the bull market is still led by a tight group of tech and AI stocks, as you guys know, with some strategists urging caution due to high valuation and concentrated gains reminiscent of the dot-com era. So everything is dependent on NVDA and the Mag 7, all of whom are buying from NVIDIA. So NVIDIA's client list is a little small. The new add-on is the H20 for China, for which they have placed a huge order with TSMC. So all of that thing looks good. But during the earnings, if Microsoft says that they have reduced the data center or infrastructure spend, and if Amazon says the same thing, then we would see a sudden turnaround, because markets are forward looking, and right now when we look forward, everything looks rosy, but that can change with the future outlook or forward-looking statements made during the earnings report for Microsoft, Google, etc., which is going to happen tomorrow. So that's where caution is urged. And today's schedule is that we're going to have the George job openings, conference board and consumer confidence, S&P, core logic, Case-Shiller, home price index, etc. for May. And all of them can inform the stock market about how the Fed is going to think about the inflation. So this is again a little bit of extra information available while we await Jerome Powell to come and make some statements. And I think the Fed policy decision and press conference will happen on Wednesday. PC inflation index will come out on Thursday. US July jobs report will come out on Friday. So it's all spread out this week. This is going to be a pivotal week, in my opinion. And crude oil prices are steady with WTI at around 67.2 per barrel and Brent at 69.8, supported by trade optimism and energy sector gains. And I believe that energy sector is going to be the next boom sector, because with all the data center and the increasing investment in AI, one thing is going to be under strain, that is the electricity grid. And Trump has said that he doesn't want windmills, he doesn't want renewables. He's removed a whole lot of concessions that were there for renewables and green energy. Therefore, we are back to nuclear and oil. So I'm expecting that these two are likely to be the stars of the stock market going forward. It will be along with the next wave of AI. And US dollar remains firm. The euro dipped after the trade agreement or the trade framework agreement. And the yen saw minor moves against the dollar, nothing significant to report home about. And and I think the market optimism is still persisting on the back of trade deals, robust Q2 earnings, and hope for a stable Fed. And volatility risk remains high with global macro events and future tariff uncertainties still looming around in the horizon. Let's see what happens. Let's go on and have a look at our TradingView platform and go through some of the indices, some of the commodities, and some of the stocks that may be of interest for us today. So here we go. Let's get started with S&P 500 futures. I'm just going to get back to our one-day view. And as you can see here, this diagonal line of resistance, which had briefly become support yesterday, is again a line of resistance. So I'm going to convert the color into into red to show that it's the resistance for today. And for today, the resistance is at 6,451 for S&P 500 future. Right now, we are at 6,437. And as the earnings start coming in and the market opens, we'll look forward to see if we can break through this diagonal line of resistance, because then that will expedite our arrival at our target price of 6,666.5. But if that doesn't happen, then I think the chances of this bad flag, which is a contrary indicator to the chart pattern, maybe that will take more precedence. So everything is hinging on it's like a Goldilocks situation, I would say, for a lack of a better term. Nasdaq is up 0.41%. Again, the bearish divergence still persists, and we still have the diagonal line of resistance, which is going to offer resistance for Nasdaq futures today at around 23,839. And dollar index, as I said, has gone up 0.30%. It could potentially come and touch a double top out here. We'll see what happens at that stage. All the yields for long-term bonds are going down. So that's a good thing. And the way I look at it, this is a bear flag in formation. So bear flags usually break on the downside. So we can expect the yields to go down going forward. Now, having said that, I want to go into the indicators and look at the indicators themselves. And for today, for S&P 500, I can say that I don't see resistance, but I see support at around 6,352. That's going to be the support for today. And with regard to Nasdaq, I think the support is going to be, let me mark the screen. The support is going to be at 23,261.46. Right now, we are at 23,356, up 0.36% from the previous closing. And the diagonal line of resistance is going to offer resistance somewhere in the region of 23,570. So that's where I think the resistance is going to be. Again, we have a very strong bearish divergence out here, which has to trigger sooner rather than later. VIX is down 2.19%, indicating a lot of calm. And gold is up 0.08%. It has fallen below this diagonal line of resistance, and it needs to break through this. But I bought gold yesterday. I bought gold just somewhere around 3,342 through the ZGLD ETF. I'm holding it for a period of time because I think that sooner rather than later we're going to see another spike in gold. That's why I'm holding it. Next, let's go to QQQ. QQQ is up 0.47% this morning, indicating that we're going to open positive today. Put call ratio is still in the same range that it was before, neutral to mildly bullish, and that's where we have. And just want to I'm curious to look at XLP. XLP is undecided. Like if we were to go into, let us say, a 1 month time frame and recalibrate the chart, you would see that this is a bull flag and we have a consolidation happening out here. So if the markets go bad and if the VAC 7 results end up crashing the market, I think money will come into XLP, and XLP is poised to move upward. That's the way I'm looking at this right now. We'll see what happens when the time comes. But let's go on and have a look at AI. Going back again into the daily time frame, which is what we should look at. And you can see that in case of NVDA, we are already above this diagonal line of support, way above. Just going to extend this further. And our support for today for NVDA is going to be 173.78. I do not see any resistance because we are charting new territories out here. So no resistance to be seen. And I think we still have the bearish divergence, especially if you update the chart, and you will see that there is a severe bearish divergence out here. And I'm just updating it for you guys. Bearish divergences do always materialize in a downside, but it may take time. This is taking extraordinarily long time. We have severe bearish divergence. Bullish sentiment is still strong. That's what is keeping it going up. And Meta is also up 0.09% in pre-market trades today. And support continues to be this diagonal line of support. Let me mark that green. And today the support is going to be at 708.30, and the resistance is going to be 737.49 for Meta. Google post earnings has moved sideways. It gave up most of the gains, moved sideways, and it has broken down below the support that we have had in the past at around 193.94. And I think the moment we close above this and confirm above this, we can see more upside. Otherwise, I think we are going to move a little bit off on the sideways and create a bull flag. I don't think this is a topping flag. We don't have a topping tail out here. So I would give benefit of doubt for a potential bull flag out here. And also sentiment is bullish, MACD is bullish, momentum is above average. It's overbought, RSI is overbought. So I think there will be a consolidation out here, and then we move upward for Google because everything in the earnings was good. And then we have Amazon, which is up 0.29% in pre-market trades. They're going to report tomorrow. And I have a target for Amazon at 258.06. However, we also have a bearish divergence, which is continuing to persist. So something has to give. Maybe the earnings report may be buy the rumor and sell the news kind of event. Let us watch out for that. Apple is down 0.02%. It's not much. Microsoft, again, it's going to report tomorrow after hours, and Microsoft has been gaining steadily. It jumped significantly somewhere on the 30th of April. And this is a potential candidate for buy the rumor, sell the news. So we'll have to watch out what happens out there. Tesla continues to surprise me. It had 2 consecutive days of gain, and it got pushed down by this resistance at 329.14. At this point of time, I think Tesla is basically running on hype. It's a it's a fan following that is pushing it up. Well, there is nothing, in my opinion, in Tesla other than a car manufacturing company and the robotaxi and Optimus. These are all still pie in the sky. So we have to see what happens with them. But at this point of time, Tesla is down 0.14% in pre-market trades, and it's going to have some support at 297.65. Quantal is really good. It's been going up steadily. It has created another bull flag out here, and we are up 0.27% in pre-market trades, and we are moving towards a target of 255 or 254, something in that range. Now, apart from this, I'd like to look at Palantir. Palantir is up 0.52%. It had a bad day yesterday, but pre-market today, it's up 0.52%. We had a target of 176.17 for Palantir. So maybe it was recover the losses from yesterday today and start consolidating and start moving up. So that's all I have for you guys. And just before I leave, I want to look at Tempus AI. It's down 0.45%, continuing to ride this diagonal line of support, which today is at 61.31. And right now we are at 61.72 pre-market. So if we break down from here, then our next support is going to be 59.39, which happens to be this green line out here. So that's it, my friends. Let's go on and have a look at genomics. Now, in genomics, Prime is up smartly 0.32%. I think some kind of a bullish pennant is being created out here. We'll see how it works. And if the bullish pennant succeeds, it typically breaks out on the upside. But right now, we have a resistance at 4.54. And what else do I have here? Okay, so I'm looking at the comment section, and I want to just interact with the audience for a few minutes before I proceed further. So, Inf, good morning, Inf. You are out to do a procedure with the doctor. Oh, or is the doctor going to do a procedure with you, on you? Okay, all the best. Hot Dog says hi. Morning, Hot Dog. Thanks for joining up. David West was here. He's saying Sarepta was up 44% yesterday after hours, 41% up pre-trade, and stock of the day is going to be Sarepta. Thanks for the heads up, David. Thanks for the heads up. Now, I'll get back into my analysis out here. Where were we? Okay, we're talking about Prime. Next, let's skip through these. Intelia is up 1.30%. A steady jump upwards for Intelia, continues to move upwards. And sentiment is bullish. MACD is bullish. Momentum is above average. We have earnings coming up on the 31st. So we'll see what happens with the earnings. Is it going to be a buy the rumor, sell the news event? A little bit of jitters can be seen out here at this point of time. Let's go on to Caribou, which is up 4.37% this morning. Is there any news that we can see? No news. It's just pure sentiment. Again, a lot of gains. I'll come back to my theory. I think people who are invested in the Max 7s and are sitting on humongous profits, they're taking part of the profits because they know anyway when the market turns, they're going to lose the profits. So they're realizing the profits, putting it into places where they are beaten up, and genomics happens to be one of those beaten up sectors where valuations look pretty decent. So they are putting the money here, and that's why the stock is going up. That's what I would think. And again, they're all sub $5 stocks, so you can put a lot of money. And even if the stock moves 2 or 3 cents, you made big money out there. So that could be the play out here. Beam is also up today. Altimmune is down 0.25%. Editas is up 1.01%. Illumina continues to march upwards. It's up 0.34% again today. And I think it is going all the way towards 136.59. Great company. Everything looks good. Earnings are due on the 31st of July. So let's see what happens out there. CRISPR Therapeutics is down 0.41% in pre-market trades. And again, I think it's still a bull flag out there. Allogene is down 0.68%. Grail is down 0.97%. And PACV is flat, pre-market trades. ARCG is up 0.27%. Vertex is up 0.15%. Ginkgo Bioworks is up 1.72%. I think I have to take a quick look at Ginkgo Bioworks and see what they're up to. It's been quite a long time since we touched up on Ginkgo Bioworks. I had written in donor snake oil. I want to go ahead and have a check and then look at it again. We have a bullish pennant falling for Ginkgo Bioworks. It could be interesting to see that because all the vitals are looking pretty strong for Ginkgo. Unicure is up 0.40%. IMTX has got no trades pre-market. Precision is up 1.90%. It has been steadily coming down towards this line of support. I hope it jumps from this line of support. I'm going to hold on until August, third week of August, when we have the FDA results coming out. So that's it. And then I'm going to add Sarepta here. Sarepta had a bad news, if I'm not SRPT. Sarepta had a bad news, if I'm not mistaken, about the DMS therapy. So it could be a dead cat bounce out here. Yeah, and the stock is looking pretty weak. I would not get into this right now. I just was curious. David had mentioned it's doing a dead cat bounce, in my opinion. It's gone down as much as it can. See, look at the momentum out here. Yeah, that's all I got there for Sarepta. I'm going to just remove this from here so that I don't end up investing in this stock. It's too volatile and too risky for my comfort. So that's what I have that. With that said, I think, friends, I would like to bring this video to an end, and I'll catch up with you again in the next one. Bye for now.